Alright, so hopefully everybody can hear me. Somehow lost my little fuzzy thing off of my headset. Alright. Is there anybody out there? How you doing? Alright, I guess I've gone live now, and now we got a building audience. So, alright, the title of this live stream is The State of Things. State of things are pretty grim on the farm here. Things are not going as well as I would like them to be going. I have literally only a third of my hay made. Yeah, a third of my hay made. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to get it made. Doesn't mean that, you know, I'm going bankrupt by any means. It just means that I'm not very happy with the way this summer has gone. I know any of the guys that had corn and soybeans, they're thrilled to death with it, but, you know, in this area anyway. Hold on, you bastard. You know, some people just can't handle life. Orientation is locked. Rotate the device back. Well, no. Alright, I'm going to start the live stream over. Sorry about that, guys. You can thank one of your colleagues out there, what kind of douchebag he is. Or we do it this way. Or we do it this way. Come on. There we go. I got it. So, alright. So the current state of things is that there's an asshole that likes to call me every time with a blocked phone number or no caller ID or anything on his phone. So I can't just say, hey, asshole. I'll call him up or at least report him or find out who he is and go kick his ass. Because, you know, it's just some coward in his mom and dad's basement that obviously doesn't have a job because it's like Monday and it's it's Monday afternoon already, and it just ain't at work. And it has time to sit there and call me to try and interrupt the live stream like a fucking idiot. So, anyway, so the state of things is that I'm actually making hay. I've got a lot of hay on the ground. I've got hay on the ground that's been on the ground for over 2 weeks, which is really annoying the shit out of me. But, you know, there's hay on the ground right there and everything in the back. I could get a separate device just for this, like an iPad or something like that, and I can have a little more screen, and I might just do that. Of course, then it's another phone line. But you know what? That probably isn't the worst thing in the world. Plenty of YouTubers use that. But that doesn't mean that the idiot's not going to continue to annoy me on my telephone when I start. You know? But anyways, whatever. So, I'm on my way to a farm that was mowed 2 weeks ago. More than 2 weeks ago. And it just... it's there. And it's, you know, it needs to get made. And I've just been, like, pulling my hair out. I have other... There goes my IT girl. I have other farms that need to get done, but I can't do them because A, it's just incredibly wet, and they live in a swamp. I stopped answering that guy's phone calls, though. I had enough of that. You know, when you do something for so long, you're just like, you know what? I don't need to be talking to you on the phone about how wonderful your 12 acres is. I'm sorry. I got bigger fish to fry is what I'm saying. And if you find somebody else to fuck around on the farm, then that's his business, obviously. That's fine. You know, a year like this has been absolutely... Here's Mark. Yeah, a year like this is just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I don't mind the long distance ones, but I gotta I got a 12-acre farm that's not even 12 acres. Anyway, he's just driving me crazy. Just driving me absolutely crazy with his, I don't even know, his idea. You gotta do this. This is the most important part of the, yeah, give me a break. You know what, 12 acres, I can go away. I mean, the ground, the 150 acres that's next to him that I haven't done, way more important than his. And if it was the fact that I could do it, I would have done it all in one shot. But I got 150 acres that I'm trying to get made right now, and those people are ready to throw me off because it should have been done in June. Well, those take priority. That's all. Those are priorities. I'm going to end up pulling this tractor over. I didn't let it calibrate. You know? But whatever. This 8530, I'm not William. Anyway, yeah. 8530 has to calibrate every time you start it up. They all do, apparently. It says so in the operator's manual that you can, if you want to, you allow it to calibrate. If you don't want it to calibrate, you don't have to, but I like to let it calibrate after it warms up. So when I get to the field where I'm going, I'm going to shut the tractor off and I'm going to let the machine calibrate. Now here's a farm right here. I can flip the camera around. It's all mowed. There's 150 acres there at the least. That's all on the ground because I put it there. Anyways, 100% chance of rain tomorrow. This hay, I got Joseph coming up behind me. Timothy's on the missing list. He decided that he would go to a bachelor party last Friday. And it's Monday. He ain't back yet. I haven't heard from him, so who knows where he's at. Anyway, I ain't kissing his ass. He's 24 years old. He makes his decision to do what he wants to do in this world. That's his choice, not mine. But whatever. Oh, so the state of things is that I'm a little bit upset with the way the weather is. Here it's going to be October in a week. Yeah, damn it, Tim. You're right, damn it, Tim. I had somebody call me up today that said, I got 27 acres of hay laying on the ground. Do you think you could bale it today before it gets wet again? I'm like, yeah, I probably could, but I got to go to the other end of the planet to do a farm first, and by the time I get done there, it's going to be dark. And he's like, well, I'll get somebody else to do it. Well, Timothy has a Heston baler on the 4960, and he could have went down and baled the 27 acres in no time at all. And we had, you know, about 75 bales. So, anyway, I guess that's just the way he wants to roll lately. Kind of getting old and annoying. But what can I do? Did I get to where? What's sitting? Yeah, well, Tim's doing whatever Tim's gonna do. You can't hold the gun to their heads. And if he feels it is, well, so here we got it. Assholes. Get out of my way. Super equipment rental. Yeah, that's fine. No, there's no silver play button coming to me. They're not going to give me one. Because Google sucks. And when you're vocal about Gurgle being a, you know, gobble my balls being a shitty goddamn company, you know, they only pick and choose who they want to give silver play button to. If you're a Democrat that loves Hillary Clinton or, you know, supports a lying bitch that wants to take down the Supreme Court nominee till after the midterm elections so that they can, you know, shoot down anything Donald Trump wants to do. Well, they'll give them all the silver play buttons they can make. But, you know, that's just a whole other thing, you know. Minnesota, Oliver, and Deer. Yeah, you need to talk to me, that's fine. You can talk to me. Yeah, I told you to send me a text message when you were going to call. I haven't gotten one yet. Oh, of course. Is there a detour here or what? Because I really need to make this left. Do I really want to do this? I do. Come on, idiot. Don't babble, I swear. Knock over the guy's cones. I got Joe coming up behind me. Band-Aid? I don't have a Band-Aid. What, this? Recently I have started because I've been in a lot of dirty, dusty conditions, and when I go home at night, I'm just tired of the dirt and grease on my head. I've been welding a lot lately, as you know, things like that. Yeah, I would like to have the silver play button, absolutely 100%, but you know what? I'm not going to get it. I've pretty much decided that even, you know, at this point, they're not going to give it to me. They don't want someone to have the silver play button unless they fit their profile. And it really sucks too. And believe it or not, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, they've been in before Congress on this very subject as to first, you know, the freedom of speech is the First Amendment. Freedom of speech is, they're infringing people's freedom of speech. Now, you know, they don't feel that they are because they're a private company, but you either do away with all political opinion, right or left, Republican, Democrat, Independent, Green, whatever party, you either discriminate against all of that, but you cannot pick and choose which side you allow on your site. Because if you're going to allow politics to enter into your site, of any sort, you have to allow all politics, just like religion. So if, you know, if YouTube was to say, hey, we're not going to allow Muslims to put anything up on their site, we're not going to allow Jews to put anything up on their site, then they shouldn't allow anybody to put anything up on their site, because Christians, Jews, and Muslims, and God only knows what other religion, Buddhists, they're Hindus, Sikhs, they all have, you know, different views, different opinions, and, you know, they can't pick and choose between one or the other. It's either all or nothing. So, yeah. Yeah, you know, okay, so it's okay. You know, I know that the guidelines that Google, YouTube, Gurgle, Gobble My Balls, whatever you want to call them, I know those guidelines and how they are biased against conservative views. I know that, but I continue to post my political views and opinions, and knowing that they don't like it, knowing that I really don't give a damn whether they like it or not, and the consequences for that protest, that form of protest, is that I do not get my silver play button. Okay? So I'm okay with it, really. It's okay by me if I don't get that silver play button, because who needs it? You know, what is it? It's an award for people liking and sharing my videos. Yeah, there was a lot of hard work involved in it, and yeah, it would have been cool if I could have actually, you know, gotten it. But that's right. It's their private site, and if they want to be known as a biased, biased website, then I guess that's their business. Now, I still choose to post and make money on that, even though I've been restricted on that one too. I'm making an amount of money that I was making 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I had somewhere around 50,000 subscribers. So now I'm at almost 120,000 subscribers, but I get awesome views, and that really is what keeps me where I'm at. But they just keep cutting back the pay scale or the pay rate. They say, oh, well, if you want to make the money that you were making 3 years ago or 4 years ago, you have to do this, this, and this. If you want to make the money you were making that we were offering, you have to, you know, they want you to do paid content, you know, and yeah, paid content. They want you to, like, Patreon. They want you to do that chat, Super Chat. So when you pay for Super Chat, and I tell everybody, don't do it. If you want to give me money, you go to my PayPal account and you just deposit money into my PayPal account, because then I get all the money. I think all but like $2. So if you give me 10 bucks, they get to keep a couple of bucks. That's PayPal. If you do the Super Chat, they take like 35 to 40% of that money. Yeah, I will be going for the charts if I can make hay. If I can't make hay, then no, I'm not. I mean, I've ordered them, and they have them there, and I've gotten the bill. I actually just have to really get my hay made. I don't know. Life is a bitch right now. This road is rough as hell. If you didn't know. And I am not doing this rocking motion on purpose. I'm going to put my foot on the brake, and that'll make the front wheels rigid. ID2 transmissions are really finicky at times. Anyway. Oh, hell. Oh, I didn't really want to make a long YouTube video. I'm not complaining about the weather. I'm just complaining about weather, you know. Just, you know, as stupid as that may sound, the weather's not fair this year to anybody. You're either bone-ass dry or soaking wet. And I've been inundated with water. We're going to get more water here tonight and in tomorrow. The weatherman has not given us... Hey, how's this sound? Anybody out there can know of a weather app that gives projected rainfalls? Because if I'm going to get only a couple of tenths of an inch, I'll continue to mow. If I'm going to get an inch or more, forget it. Then I can't mow. But I'm really getting a little bit disgusted. So if anybody out there that can find a site that has projected rainfalls and post them on here, or at least give me that number, I'd appreciate it. I really would appreciate it. For my area, 08825 is the area code. 08825. Just remember that number. I'll say it again. 08825. And that'll give you the Frenchtown weather. Yeah, I've done store map. They don't get... Oh! For the love of Jesus! All the disciples, for Christ's sake. This road is useless. Weather underground. Yeah, well, do it for me. I lost my hat. I'm sick and tired of this weather. Kingwood Township. Well, where I'm going, it'll be done, but Kingwood Township, Delaware Township in there, that's where all the hay is down in Delaware Township. They got rain yesterday. It's kind of stupid. ABC weather. They don't get projections. They just say, well, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna rain today. Or, oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have 5 days of nice, crisp, clear weather. Go out and mow all your fucking second cut, and you'll be able to bail it on the 4th and 5th day. Well, wrong answer. Idiots. I got so much money laying on the ground right now. Grass hay. I was supposed to bail yesterday. I had a customer that I needed hay for, and I couldn't make it. I couldn't do anything. It was raining off and on all day yesterday. Knucklehead to pull off the side of the road to mow the grass. You know, when I don't know when that became legal. I don't know what's wrong with my IVT transmission. It seems to work. It's not the bounce, because the road is rough as hell. You know, I was out here this morning. I had to take William to the doctor this morning. General contracting. I don't know. I don't know. I got so much hay laying on the ground right now. It pisses me off that I can't actually do what I want to do. Anyway, this live stream's about done. I do have a video that was supposed to be posted today, and it did not get posted because I had to go to the doctor this morning. So, anyway, such is life. He ain't chasing girls. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Probably playing with an airplane or fishing or some shit. Hey, whatever. It's his life to deal with. It's not mine. He doesn't want to get it together, and he doesn't want to get it together and be what he could be. That's fine. You know, nobody held a gun to my head and said, "You got to do this, boy." Nope, I'm not holding a gun to his head. He wants to go fuck off for 2 weeks. When we're behind, he won't have money for a while. I don't know how in the hell he's gonna make it. I don't know how in the hell he's gonna make it. I really don't. But what? Nobody held my hand. Nobody held my hand. I mean, 27 acres of hay that could have all been his for free. For free. And he let it go. Won't even answer the phone. Okay. That's okay. I can't do it all, right? I can try, but I can't. I just can't do it. Tough love? Yeah, you're right. Like, when he gets home, he might even be packing his bags and looking for a new house and a new job. So, I'm not kissing his ass. You know? I don't need the headache. I don't need the headache. When a person starts to... You ever watch those movies? What the hell was the name of it? John Wick. Right? John Wick. And then there's another movie. It was called Run All Night. And there was another movie. All these movies about kind of they're gangster movies, you know? Not really good people. But they have sons that have this feeling of entitlement, like, my dad owns this town, and I can do whatever I want. So, this movie Run All Night was a Liam Neeson movie. I like Liam Neeson. I think he makes good movies. And he has these people that, you know, in these movies, they feel like they're untouchable. The John Wick one, that was kind of amazing. John Wick, you know, killed that kid. and the run all night. He choked them out in the bathroom, killed them, you know, in a train station. But for the love of God. And I think that's what a lot of kids these days feel, even in the farm community, local farm community, and even on YouTube, the farm community on YouTube. You know, there's certain YouTubers that, this is mine, you know, look at my combine, and they're like 20 years old. Now, okay, or 18, or still in high school. No, that's your mom and dad's. And someday, it may, with hard work, dedication, and, you know, some suffering, obviously some suffering, you will have that combine, and you will have that corn planter, that John Deere tractor, that Case, the New Holland, whatever you want to buy. Those could all be yours with hard work. But, you know, and I've seen it on YouTube, I've seen it on Instagram, and they refer to their parents or their grandparents' equipment and stuff as theirs, as their own personal property, even though it isn't. You know, when you see me in a machine, when you see me doing something on the farm, I don't own the farm. I've never said that I own the farm. That farm belongs to my father, my aunt, and my grandmother. My mother and father, my aunt, and my grandmother. Okay? My grandmother's still alive. Do I hope to own the farm someday? I actually want to purchase it from my aunt and my father when my grandmother passes away. For the simple reason, I don't want any other family members coming in and saying, get out. You know, so that's what my hopes are. I don't want to have to share it with my sister. You know, I don't want to have to share it with a cousin. I don't want to share it with anybody. I want to buy it outright so that it's mine, and then I don't have to worry about it. Yes, it's my home, but all the equipment that you see, has my name on it. And it doesn't belong to anybody but me. I'm the one with my nuts in a sling when I don't make my hay and I can't get my shit done. But, you know, like Timothy. I bought that Heston baler. Timothy didn't. You know, I didn't give it to him. I gave it to him to use, you know, to make my hay with, to make his hay with, to give him a head start, some incentive to, hey, I can go, this guy's going to give me 27 acres of hay that was fertilized, mowed, raked, ready to go, but it has to be done today while the sun is shining because we don't have tomorrow. Another guy up is going to come out and bail it. I know he will. I know he will. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'd be losing this 100 acres out here, I'd have done his first and then came out and done this, but I got no tomorrow. But I do have 2 balers. You know, like, motherfucker. You know, you just can't win sometimes. Hey, it's all in the ambition. You know, it's all in the ambition. If you got no ambition, you ain't gonna make nothing. You're not gonna make it. You know, I get up in the morning and I think of things that I have to do. He gets up in the morning and thinks, well, sometimes I don't want to go to work, you know. I do. You know, especially on the days when you go to work and the baler blows up, or, you know, you got the mower, you bust a cutter bar, you hit a rock, you hit a stump, or somebody comes in and says, hey, by the way, I need you to pay me right now because I took the drive shaft out of my pickup truck and I need to rent before the end of the week, you know, and that happened. You know, when you pay your rent, you pay it by the end of the year. Well, this one need it now, and it was $4,500 that I had to pay that guy because he didn't have the money for the drive shaft. Okay, it's okay. I'm all right with it. Whatever. It just takes away, you know. So that day, I wish I hadn't woke up. I gotta buy more baling twine. I gotta pay the fuel guy the $10,000. You know, that's shit, and it wasn't planned. I have everything. All my finances are planned out, and then I get these hiccups like that I have to deal with. But such is life. It is what it is, and you can't change it. So when you learn to accept things, life's a lot nicer. You just don't worry so much anymore. I didn't put fuel in this tractor before I came over here. I hope I got enough. Don't. So maybe some words of wisdom, words to the wise. Maybe some people can take something away from this live stream. I'm not hardly reading any of the... Yeah, my Heston is just fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It runs really well. Believe it or not, why is that airplane like 2 feet off the fucking ground? And that's a big airplane too. Huh. Slow and low. We're talking like United Airlines slow and low. Oh, anyway. Here's the farm. It's about 55 acres. And it cost me a fair amount of money. But it's on my way to where I'm going. That's why I took it. That's why I paid the rental. It belongs to the county. So the county comes along and they mow about 100 feet into the field because they felt that aesthetically it would look better. Tell you what, I wanted to break my foot off up that son of a bitch's ass that mowed it. Because you take 100 feet, there's a 90-foot boom head, chitty chuck, all the way back. Idiots. I called up the county and said, so you want me to pay rent on ground that your mowers are going to do? Any road mowers are going to mow off for me? Right. And they're like, well, we can't change the contract. I'm like, yeah, actually you can, because I'm not going to pay you for the 4 acres you took. A huge field. No, please don't give any money. You're just supporting Google. I mean, that little bit of money that you just gave me, that $5, I appreciate it a lot, but the problem is Google is taking 35% of that. They're taking it. You just gave that to Google Incorporated so that they can censor people like me. It makes them real happy when I get a $5 donation, so 30% of it, 35% of it, 1/3, a little more than 1/3 of it went to Gurgle. So I'd rather not have the money than support those assholes. Yeah, when I say assholes, I mean it. They're assholes. They're assholes. And, honestly, I like to do YouTube. I wouldn't do it if I didn't love doing it. And, I had somebody ask me a question here the other day. It's been about a month ago now, really. So, do you ever get up in the morning and say, I don't want to make a video today, just don't feel like doing a video? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I wake up in the morning and I say, you know what, I don't feel like doing this today. And those are the days that you don't get a video. Today, I actually got up at 4:30 this morning. I made the video that I was going to post on here today. If this guy thinks I'm fake, you're some kind of fucked up idiot. But anyway, I made the video and I uploaded it and it didn't go through. So I don't have time today or any day to just go back to the house, back to my office and post a video. Like, oh no, I have to do it. No, if today Google says, Wesley, my channel is made by bots. What kind of bots are you talking about? Anyway, yeah, now I lost my train of thought. Oh, if Google comes along and says, hey, Wesley, we're taking your channel down and all your content is no more. Where do you see robots in my freaking videos? Anyway, they're taking your channel down. No skin off my ass. There really isn't. Yeah, it's a lot of money. As a matter of fact, I make more money on YouTube than I do farming. It is. It takes a lot of time, though. I would just concentrate more on farming, Instead of getting up at 4:30 to edit videos for YouTube, I would get up and, I don't know, tend to herd of beef cows, do other things, just to make up the difference. Matter of fact, I could go pick up another 100 acres or 200 acres of hay, and probably 200 acres of hay, and definitely 200 acres of hay, and make up for that. So, be okay. It's alright. So I'm fake now. That's nice. I love it how people are so stupid. But whatever. I got some really good dedicated trolls, I will tell you that. I mean, if you've got time to waste to call me on the phone and be total assholes, then you're just a special kind of stupid. Not all of my viewers are that way. The 99% of them, 99.99% of them are all really good people that enjoy what I do. Is this all this? Is this? Are you just using different channels to say I'm fake? Okay. I'm fake. You're right. You got me. I'm fake. I don't really realize. I don't really exist right here. And PewDiePie has no good content. Okay? There is no good content on PewDiePie. That I can assure you. I've watched it and thought, this guy plays video games for a living and curses about it. I say half of those words that idiot says and I get demonetized. But him, because he's a multi-million subscriber channel, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Again, like I said, Gurgle does, or Gobble My Balls does what they want to do. And if you don't fit their profile or their style or whatnot, you don't get the awards that you've earned, and they're really hypocritical. I'm fake. You're right, I'm fake. You got it. I'm totally fake. That's right. That's amazing. Well, England weather's different, and they're yeah, I'm a cyborg, didn't you know? I got like fucking metal in my mouth, right? Yeah, I'm not a cyborg. I think that's funny. I'm not a real human being. I'm a machine. I've gone through stoplights. I got 11 seconds to get through here, and I got Joseph has to come behind me too. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Is he gonna make it? Nope. Not gonna make it. Not gonna make it, Mr. Joe. Oh well. Anybody that likes my videos is smart. I do actually have some pretty strong opinions. You know, maybe that offends people, but oh well. I know where I can wait for Joe. As long as he sees where I turn, life is good. I'm gonna pull off and wait for him, that's all. Hey! Bill Corey, good to see you. I'm doing good, how are you? I haven't gotten a belt for that belt buckle yet, but I have every intention of doing so. You been called a fart smeller? Well, we're all fart smellers. Depends on who dealt the fart. Who called you fart smeller? I mean, come on. Fart smeller. Smart fella is what that's supposed to mean. But, yeah. You're either a smart fella or a fart smeller.
Dad, I got caught at the light by the time.
Yeah, Joe's called.
Whatever, I got some. I don't know where I'm going.
Chicken. Yeah, I better hurry up and do that. You're right. I don't want the power of the belt buckle to be dissuaged, you know. Alright, I'm gonna pull off here, wait for Dirk to catch up. He got caught in the light. I don't know, somebody sent me some money. Who was that? Let me scroll back here. What was that, $2? Well, thank you very much. James, what is that? Ledesma, thank you. How many bales a season on the Krone? 5,000. Yeah, 5,000. Over 5,000 on the Krone. 5,000 on the Krone. You're gonna report me for being a robot? Nice. Stupid assholes. There he comes.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah, I got it. Anyway. You reported me for being fat? You can ask anybody that's met me. I'm not fat. I am probably, I don't know, a catamaran there. I'd like to buy a sailboat. I'm not fat. I might get winded when I go up and down hills because I don't get enough time to walk around on Old Farm All Age. I don't get enough time to walk. Yeah, thank God you're gone. I just wonder about people that have time to troll. I got better things to do. I mean, it's an hour drive for me to get to where I'm going. That's why I'm doing this live stream. Because when I start the live stream, I gotta pay attention to the baler because it's gonna be damp and a pain in the ass. But yeah. Thank you. I get reported all the time. I reported an asshole just being total douchebag on the comment section. I reported and removed. Q loves me? Yeah, because I'm a cyborg, right? Good lord. Q loves me. I haven't seen that show in a few years. Baylor Wars. You know, the stupid thing about that channel is there's nothing on there. There were 2 videos, Baylor Wars 2019 or 19. I should do the real Baylor Wars channel, just write the real Baylor Wars. And yeah, when I do that job in June, you're gonna see some Baylor Wars. Big time! Resistance is futile. Yeah. I wouldn't mind being a cyborg. Man, live forever. I mean, I don't want to live forever. Just don't give me a mechanical dick. I don't want a mechanical dick, okay? Because, I don't know. I guess you don't have to worry about impotence then, but a mechanical dick could be problematic. It just could be. And I often wondered about that. So the cyborg, do they fuck with your genitalia? I mean, really. Is that the first thing they take off and replace? I mean, maybe I'm sick in the head, but anyways, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I guess if they gave me a mechanical dick, and they gave all the cyborg women mechanical pussies, or vaginas, if you want to use that word, I might as well use the word vagina. Would that create sparks? I mean, your mind can go to really weird places when you start thinking about Star Trek and cyborgs and mechanical dicks and vaginas and holy sparks. And you have little iron babies, you know, little metal. You ever see that shit like on, what is that, Transformers, where you know, they take the cube or whatever and they touch stuff and the little telephone turns into this little killing machine. So you got this human cyborg baby coming out. Yeah, that'd be quite the show. That'd be quite the show. I'm surprised somebody hasn't made a porno cyborg birth. You know, that kind of crap. Don't mind the sparks. Yeah, Lucas to get the. Oh, Lucas, that's funny. Yeah, better get the proper lubricant, Lucas. Engine life. Lucas Luball. some ideas. Yeah, I'll never be credited for it. You know, I've seen a lot of things over the last 20 years of my adult life in the last 20 years. You know, a man really doesn't mature until he's like 26, 25, 26, 27 years old, I think. By the time you're 27 years old, if you haven't got it figured out, you're just going to be a jerk off for the rest of your life. You're not going to ever amount to anything. So, I'm 46, so let's just say over the last 20 years, I have come up with some incredible ideas about a lot of mechanical stuff. Now, I'm not a mechanical engineer. I never went to college. I always felt that, you know what, why waste my time in college when I can put my ideas to good use and make some money doing it, you know, and that's just the way it is. So, yeah, I'm like, wow. I really have come up with some ideas. Now, I go through the Shoop catalog every once in a while when I'm looking for parts or something, whether it be for the grain drill or whatnot. Oh, thank you. Travis Griffiths, thank you. Griffin. So, I'm going through the Shoop catalog, and they always have these little tools that they come up with to do little jobs that are, you know, a pain in the ass on different pieces of equipment. And I've seen several things on there. Ooh, you know, just stupid stuff. Came up with an idea about arrows, for arrows. If you ever remember, if you were a hunter, and I used to hunt a lot, used to bow hunt and stuff, and they came out with a broadhead that would turn. Okay, so the arrow turns either right or left, depending on the helix you put on your vanes or feathers on your arrows. So if it's turning to the right and you've got straight blades, it takes away the penetration. That's what it does. So I came up with this stupid idea that to take the insert for like a XX75 Easton arrow, because they had a XX75 2219s, XX75, 2219s, pretty good sized barrel on those arrows. So the insert, or the insert to hold the screw and insert to the arrow, could easily be made to have needle bearings in there. So you take this thing, and I had this idea, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I take them needle bearings, and you put them in the insert, and yes, they're going to be more money, but you're not stuck with one type of broadhead. Any kind of broadhead would fit on these inserts because they just screw in. So you could take an old Bear razor, screw it into your needle bearing insert, which the old Bear razor arrow broadheads were more than adequate to kill a whitetail deer. They were like an inch and a quarter of cut, plus they had the razor inserts that went on inside of them. Well, I had that idea, and before you had the certain types of arrow broadheads, I don't know who came up with them, but they were pivoting, or they would swivel or spin. So that kind of took the wind out of my sails on that one. Yeah, so I mean, just a lot of little stupid inventions that I had thought up and, you know, never did anything about, and then, oh yeah, I thought about that years ago. And I guess it takes a lot of money to go to a patent office and just do the patent searches. It literally costs you about $2,500 to do a patent search, and then from the patent search, then you have to present to different companies. And you're probably wondering how I know this, because I tried to patent something one time, and it's difficult, because in today's day and age, most of the mechanical stuff has been patented long time ago. And it was what I tried to patent. It was actually my wife at the time. She tried to patent well, I'm not even going to say what it was, but it was patented in the late 1800s. Nobody uses these things, but it was patented in the late 1800s. So what we tried to do was, all right, so the patent is up in 17 years of a patent. So, and you can extend it for 3 years, which gives you 20 years on your patent, but it costs you money. So for 17 years on a patent, you can't re-patent the same patent. It just doesn't happen. But you can patent theory, and you can patent, you know, the material it's made out of, if that, you know, and, you know, so there's a lot of different things, but it just wasn't worth it to us. It would have cost me another $10,000 to get this thing patented. And then, even after it's patented, you have to find a manufacturer to build it. Now, this was before China was a raging machine of building stuff. It was long before that. So, we're talking 1992, before Tim was born. And we had the idea, and, you know, me and her worked on it a little bit. It was her basic idea, and then I added stuff to it and, you know, made it more feasible, which when we went to the patent search, it didn't show up on the first patent search, but in the detailed patent search, which cost us the extra, I think, $1,500 more from the first initial 1,000, they did a detailed patent search, which came back with that item had already been patented. Not in the same way that ours was patented. So, of course, the people we were working with, they were like, well, you can patent this under a different theory, you know, and what it is used for, and you can patent it has to be unique, which we felt that it was very unique, but in theory it wasn't unique. But the funny thing we did learn was it was patented, but nobody ever made it. So that was a big red flag for us, because how can something be patented and not be manufactured? Who would ever go through that patent process and not manufacture it? So we decided that, well, this is already patented. The people that patented it are long since dead. That patent is up. Let's find a manufacturer that will manufacture this under our name. And that was when it was going to cost like 10 grand to do it. And there may have been royalties paid to people that we don't know whether they exist or not anymore. And it was weird because the patents, there was like 4 patents that covered everything by the same person in like 1879. I believe it was 1879. Yeah, 4010 will run right. I don't have it finished. I never finished it. Ran out of time. Ran out of money too. You know, I was using YouTube money to do that. Actually, I was using Patreon money to do that, and I stopped posting on Patreon because it's such a pain in the ass. You put something on Patreon and then you get more criticisms there than you do on YouTube. YouTube's free and you get advertising money for that, so that's why I quit there. But I'll probably continue to post there. I'm going to start posting there now. I have a video that I made that is so offensive to certain individuals on YouTube that I'm just going to upload it to Patreon. Now you got to upload to YouTube and then link it to Patreon, but it has to be private. Now, I got flagged for a private video. How the fuck does that happen? When it's private, it's private. It's not for public use, but they flagged me on one of the private videos that I did for Patreon. And I was very disturbed about it. Like, what in the hell? How does this happen? You know, it's not for anybody's eyes. And that is the privacy setting. So these assholes, either they just pulled the trigger on me because it was the first video that I had done privately. I don't know. I have no clue. I can tell you I was upset, and yeah. The item that I was going to, yes, I agree. We actually thought about manufacturing it ourselves, but again, we would have to get poly molds. Poly molds are about $60,000 to produce. So what you needed to do was hook up with a manufacturer that was willing to make the poly mold for this item. It was either, they're rubber molds, but I think they're rubber molds. Anyways, the molds, because it was a molded item, it had to be molded. Molded and machined. So it was, yeah, to do it myself, I'd love to. I would have loved to just say, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this myself. I'm gonna produce this, and out there we go. And here we go, we're gonna make money on it. And, you know, I would actually, looking back on it right now, I think that that item would be more than sought after. You just have to be able to sell it to the people that would be using it. And you know, when we went through, they were talking numbers in the millions of dollars when we were 20 years old. You know, millions of dollars. Then it was, if this is not patented, we'll patent it. We'll get you a manufacturer, and we will get this thing up and going. We could have just gotten a manufacturer and paid royalties to the family of this patent holder, or the patent holder. And I'm sure they would have been more than thrilled about it. If they even exist, you have to find them. So, but once a patent is up in 17 years, I think it's pretty much open season. Anybody can build it. You know? Anybody can. So, that was... Oh, see Joe behind me. There you go. So that's the deal. Yeah, that was what it was. And, yeah. Boy. Now, if you guys are wondering where I'm going, check out the Solberg Airport. Thor Solberg Airport on Google. Oh, there's Mr. Hoodwinked by an Angel. What are you doing up in the middle of the night? What are you doing up in the middle of the night? I'm gonna have to read that, because aside from private, go to advanced settings and make the video restricted. I have never had an issue when I post them. Age restriction on Patreon. That is exactly where I made my mistake. I did not do an age restriction. So, and I was told that, and that's what I did when I did it the next time. I did do an age restriction. But it's such a pain in the ass to go to Patreon. It's not that I won't do it again. I do have some followers on Patreon, and I do enjoy putting them there. It's just one more step, and as much work as I have to do in a day's time, that extra step just seems so difficult for me to get done. You know, I'm working a lot of hours. I am, you know, doing the YouTube thing. I make okay money on YouTube, you know, I do. The Patreon thing, that's pennies to me. It really is, and I appreciate everybody that does donate on Patreon. But it's just such a pain in the ass to do. But anyway, no, I thanks for that information, though. I really appreciate it, because I know that you've got some, man, Michael Fazio, you have got some serious videos on Patreon, and I watch them as I'm baling hay. I listen to them more than anything. And, you know, it's a funny thing, back in 2010 when you were doing those in Key Largo, or Key West, it was Key Largo, wasn't it? I was watching those videos, which blows my mind, because when you moved to the Philippines, the Philippines wasn't even a thought in my mind to go to see. Well, I guess it was. It was a thought in my mind. Because I had, if you don't know and you're new to my channel, you know, my asawa is Filipina, and I met her almost 10 years ago in the local store. Thank you again, Ethan Johnson. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. Beef cattle. Anyway, I don't know about beef cattle. Here's some deer damage. Check that out. That is wiped clean. Soybeans wiped off the map. Daisy and we're just up celebrating my 63rd birthday. Well, happy birthday! Happy birthday! I knew your birthday was coming soon enough. And yeah, tell Daisy May I said hello. She's a keeper. I love her facial expressions when you talk to her and ask her questions. You can just see the gears turning in there. And when you call her guapa, she's like, oh, you know, I love it. So anyway, so I was watching your videos back in 2010. I had met Teresa in 2009. She worked at the local store. She was here on a fiancé visa. She married the man. He mistreated her. She divorced him. Blah blah blah. Rest is history. 2015, me and her get together. I had been to the Philippines a couple times because of her, just because of her, and I can say that. It's a fact. I'm not ashamed to say it, but she always talked highly of the Philippines. And the Philippines are a beautiful, dirty country, a very cool place to visit. I wouldn't go there as a first trip away from home, because, I mean, let's face it, I'm just a farm boy that got a passport, and the first place I ever went to was Olongapo City, Philippines, in the Subic Bay, because Teresa had said, hey, there it is, you know, or whatnot. A lot of fun. Had a lot of fun. Great people. Great time, great trips. Would I say it's a place to live permanently? At this point in my life, I would say not permanently right now. The United States, to me, is still home. And it's still, you know, I have family here. I have a lot of family here. I love my family, my mom and my dad, my grandmothers, they're still alive, and I do like the Philippines. I own 2 houses in the Philippines, me and Teresa both. So I can go visit there, and there's no hotel costs. It just isn't. So I'm cool. I can go there. Beautiful homes. Wow. So anyway, so I bought that. I paid for those places with YouTube money, and it's all on the same property. It's like a family compound, and I'm happy. You know, it works out. So when I get old and I retire from this life here in the United States or in New Jersey, I'll probably spend time across the world on the other side, and then. You know, maybe 3-6 months at a time I'll spend over there, and then I'll fly back here. Who knows? You know, because my kids are still here. And I'm going to go meet Mr. Michael Fazio, when he comes to New York. You got to take Michael with a grain of salt. It is a comedy channel, and he has tamed it down a lot from the beginnings. As me and him have a lot of the same views on politics and what the direction the United States is going. And you know, I had somebody ask me if I even understood politics. I understand politics perfectly fine. I really do. It doesn't matter whether there's a Republican in the office or a Democrat in the office. It's just a name and a title, and the puppet masters that pull those strings. Those are the controlling factors. Donald Trump is a wild card in the political system because he cannot be bought. But yet he is controlled, and even Michael will say, if you watch his channel, these signs, there are signs that are given and received by certain individuals that will let certain people know that they either stand with or against them in the grand scheme of things. Now, I think Donald Trump is doing a great thing, but he also does have some restraint and some strings being pulled from behind him also. Because you can't get away from it. You just can't get away from it. You will be taken out. The last president that stood up against this entity is well, the last assassinated president stood up against them, he was going to expose them. And like the day before he was going to expose them, bam, done. You know, and that was Kennedy. The next one that was looking towards exposing them got shot but not killed, Ronald Reagan. Again, I was just a little kid, you know, but if you read and understand what Ronald Reagan was going to do in the 1980s, yeah, he was taken out. They didn't get him. You know, did you know that the last president to carry a firearm was Ronald Reagan? Ronald Reagan carried a firearm. He did. Which, to me, awesome. It's awesome. I live in the communist state of New Jersey. I can't carry a firearm here. Yeah, it's an arrestable offense. You know, I gotta have this stupid firearms ID card. Yeah, it is kind of windy. Anyway, yeah. So happy birthday, Michael. 63 years old. I'm 46. A lot of people think that I'm crazy for thinking the way I do. But, you know, when you see certain things in this world, and you start to understand that we are not the masters of our own lives, that's when things get a little bit eye-opening. There's a lot of dead people in this world because they found out the truth and they were going to expose the truth. And I know you said in your videos that you should be dead. And honestly, I'm really surprised that you are not dead because of that. I really, truly am. You have pointed out a lot of things that really, if you dig in deep into research and stuff other people have done, you're right. And there are people that are dead, gone, just off the reservation. You know, even people that were against certain people in our government, gone, just annihilated, you know, taken away, never to be seen from again, heard from again, gone. So, you're in the right place though. Philippines, it's a good place to melt in. You'll be all right there. Yep. Well, I'm going to go bale some hay. That means that I'm either going to turn the camera and you can see what it is I'm crossing over the railroad tracks. Yeah. Yeah, some people think I'm nuts anyway. I am slightly nuts. For doing the work that I do and the business that I'm in, I'm nuts. Giving your kids a shower and listening to OLF, huh? Oh, now I feel a little dirty. Anyway. Alright, so we're at the Federal Express Hub in North Branch. Or this is Branchburg, New Jersey. That's where I'm at. I think I'm near Plainfield. Pretty close. I'm about 40 miles away from home, 35 miles away from home. I know I'm 35 miles away from home. On some of the roughest roads ever. Oh, hold on, I want to read that. Yeah, I haven't bought your book yet because I haven't had time to read it, but I'm thinking that I'm going to buy it. I'm going to get what I want to do is get a iPad or a Kindle, download it to the iPad or the Kindle, and then have it read it to me as I'm working. Because I think you got, what, 1,900 pages? And for me to do 1,900 pages, that's a lot, dude. And believe me, I'm interested. I'm interested in it. And I know it's only $3 to buy it, so. Somebody wrote to me. What's this? Holy shit, somebody gave me money. First live stream, enjoy your content. Well, thank you, Peter. Thank you very much. I can read. I read a lot. You people don't understand how much I read, really. If you knew how much I read on a daily basis, It would blow your puny little minds. Okay, so now I'm gonna jump across the curb here because I've made it to my destination. And you gotta be careful with a $170,000 baler behind you. Don't bust something up. Ugh. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna try to bail. I actually got Joseph behind me. And Mr. Joseph has the 8120 and the, let me get my gears in the right way. He's got the 8120 and the hay wagon. And his job is going to be to rotate these bales. All of them. So I got about 70 acres to do here today. Because I won't have 6 o'clock tonight. We're gonna have rain. Now, I might just go and buy Michael Fazio's book and then read it anyway, because I'm interested in it. What you spent like a couple 3 years? No, stop it. You spent like a couple 3 years. Writing that book, doing the research and writing that book. And I know I watched the video that you had made on the deeper you dug, the more blown away you were. And I found that to be rather interesting. Stackmaster Joe? No, he's just running a tractor, the 8120 and a wagon today. He's got the Westendorf loader, which I don't show too much of. Not that it doesn't deserve to be shown, but just, I don't show it. This field is pretty big. Hoping I can get another. Now, it gets pretty wet down in here. I'm hoping that I don't need to worry about. I got an audience already. Yeah, I get an audience all the time. Oh, there's the water. I knew there'd be water there. Am I gonna get stuck? Ah, this fucking ground. Excuse my language. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I should probably get going anyway. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Don't think I'm too crazy. I just, sometimes people get enlightened and it's like, wow, that's amazing. It depends on what you do with the information too. You can bury your head in the sand and ignore it, or you can do like Michael did and write books about it, and put it out on the internet. His videos get like no views at all. He used to get a lot of views. He's had some viral videos back in the day, but now it's like, you can't get any views. Where the hell is that tractor? Where's the tractor? Where's the wagon? I'm not freaking blind. Where's it? Oh, there it is. He dropped it off. Okay. Let's go. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Alright, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for watching. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the flip side.